In the water, let the daughter find her image with the rest. She'll be learning how to breathe, spinning through identity, reveal another pretty little.
Welcome back to the channel, you guys. My name is Lynn the Psychiatrist. For those who don't know me, I created the segment Lynn with God to pretty much get you guys to know Jesus better, right? Or share my relationship in hopes to encourage you on building a relationship with him. So this week I'm on vacation. That's why I'm coming to you guys bare face, fresh face, just because sometimes I just want to relax, not do too much, but still share the word. Okay. That's why we're here today. I want to talk to you guys about what it means to really trust in God and allow his plan to really take hold in our lives, and what happens when we're seeing the plan, right? We're walking with him, but it don't look like it's supposed to look. It don't look like, okay, Jesus, I know you're working with me, but we got to talk. We got to talk because you told me X, Y, and Z is supposed to happen, right? And I'm hearing your voice, but my surroundings, they're not really making sense. So I think the best way for us to really understand how God works, or like really get encouragement from the situation that we're in, is really to look at Gideon in the Bible. So we're going to be in Judges chapter 7, and there's a man named Gideon in the Bible. And Gideon, he was a man, he was just tearing down armies, right? And his army was strong. It was thousands and thousands of men, right? But there was a particular point that the Lord said, you know what, Gideon, I'm going to have you cut your army size down, right? So that you won't be too boastful in yourself. You will know that it is through me, the Lord, how you were able to get this, And there's times I look at my life and I was just like, Lord, this not making no sense. The math is not mathing. I don't really see it. But having trust in the Lord is really letting go of what I know as right, what I know makes sense, because the way of the Lord, it don't really make sense. And that's the beauty of it. So we don't think that is through us, because we know the decision we would have picked. We know the road we would have chosen. And the Lord is saying, if you would do it my way, how much better it would be. So I know you guys know I'm in residency, I'm in medical school and all these things. And, I thought I was so good, I was just like, Lord, I'm going to apply for medical school. I'm going to get these interviews. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. And when it was time to apply, I'm waiting. And nothing came in. And I was like, hold on. Give me a minute. Hold on 1 second. Like, Lord, what is this? We got to talk about this. And it's so funny because he cut down the ways that I knew was right. He moved me away from what I thought would lead me to the end goal and gave me a school that I attended for medical school. And now how many people I've helped through that? Countless, So the Lord way is better than our ways, It's through humility, right? And it's through being meek to be able to really sit with the Lord and reach the Lord and understand what he wants us to do. Let's go back to the scripture. So he's talking to Gideon and he's just like, you know what? I don't want you boasting in yourself at the end of this. I want you to know it was me who did this for you, right? So cut your army down. So he gave him different things to be able to cut his army down, he was like, if they scared, send them home. I don't want nobody scared in the field, and sometimes you got to let go of people. The Lord is saying, the people who can't see your journey right now, put them to the side. Stop talking to them right now, right? Because all they're doing is sowing doubt in your mind. I told you that this is going to happen. I told you that I will make your path straight. So why are you listening to Suzanne, who said X, Y, and Z? Why are you listening to Michael, who said it won't happen? Right? Because they're the same people that is going to come back to you and be like, oh yeah, the Lord did it for me. Yes, he did. So he's like, the scary ones, send them home. They not doing nothing for you. And you're like, okay. So he was just like, okay, yep. So thousands of them left. Then after that, the Lord was just like, okay, even the way that he said, you're going to send them to a river of water, right? Even the way that they drink, the ones who drink, by kneeling down like a dog, they got to go. So it's just like, you wouldn't think of it in your way. Like, okay, Lord, that don't really make sense. But the Lord is saying, are you going to trust me? Or are you going to trust what you know? Are you going to trust me? Or are you going to trust what I'm telling you? So you're just like, okay, Lord, I'm trusting in you to you, right? And the beautiful thing is that at the end, it was only 300 men. So in our circumstances, when we feel like, Lord, I'm not qualified for this, everyone who's applying, I'm hearing that they have these qualifications. Everyone who's doing X, Y, and Z, I'm hearing that they have these certifications and they went to this school and they went to do that school. And the Lord is saying, if you can just trust me, that you don't need all of that. You know why? Because if I gave you all of that, you would have boasted in your own. You would have said it was because of what I did. And the Lord said, I'm taking that from you. Give me that. I'm taking that from you, and I'm going to show you when the world says, right, that you are unqualified, you are the best candidate. And it's not just for you. I'm going to use you to help X, Y, and Z. So when you're done with that, you can turn to me and get on your knees and say, Lord, I thank you. Lord, I give you all the praise and the glory. Lord, I thank you for thinking that I am so, fit for this position, even though internally I don't feel it. Like, Lord, thank you for seeing me through this, because I don't even know. There's sometimes at night I cried out to you because I didn't think it could be possible. Lord, I thank you because you saw a way when I thought there was none. So that it's really just to bring him glory. You understand? So he's left with 300 men, right? And the beautiful thing about this is that the Lord knows how we feel. So that's why when we go to the Lord or like scared and I'm gonna hide this from him, I'm gonna hide that from him, the Lord said, why are you doing that? Like, I already know you're scared. You know you're scared. So let's have an honest conversation. I feel like the best prayers that we do to the Lord are honesty prayers, that Lord, I'm annoyed. Lord, I'm sad. Lord, this hurt me. Lord, I feel scared. You come to him with the honesty and with your heart open. So now he can start putting it back together, healing it in a way that it makes us feel like, okay, Lord, you're hearing me. And sometimes he can be silent, but silent doesn't mean that I'm not listening to you. You're at a point that I want you to be patient on my word, So the Lord wakes up Gideon. And the Lord, let me quote exactly what he said to Gideon, because this is good stuff, okay? The Lord wakes up Gideon in verse 9, and it says, now on the same night, the Lord said to Gideon, arise, go against their camp, for I have given it into your hand. And this is the beautiful part. He says, but if you are afraid to go by yourself, go with Purah, your servant, down to the camp, and you will hear what they say. And afterward, you will have the courage to go down against the camp. Then he went down with Purah, his servant, to the outpost of the army that was in the camp. So let's break this down a little bit. The Lord already woke him up because the Lord knows us, right? Even though we may walk out in the world and be like, oh, we got things together. We got this. The Lord say, no, you don't. You don't got it. Come, bring that to me. Bring that to me. You don't got it. But the Lord knew what he wanted to do through Gideon, right? And the Lord said, okay, I still see some fear in this man. I still see uncertainty. I still see some doubt. So being that I'm a faithful father, I'm going to continue to show him that I will give this army into his hands. So the Lord said, you know what? Even if you're afraid to go by yourself, because now it went from thousands of an army to 300 men, and now just him going to an army camp by himself with his opponents, right? Imagine an opponent army, thousands and thousands of men, and the Lord said, go down there. Some of us are like, Lord, you asking for too much. I just got rid of my man. I just did this. I just did that. Lord, you want them to take me? Like, is that how it's supposed to end? Is this a trick? But the Lord said, I knew you would feel this way. So if you are afraid, and the Lord knows, but he's just like, you know what? If you're afraid, take somebody with you. Take your servant who also will be faithful. Take him with you and go down. And the beautiful thing about this is that as he's going down, the Lord's timing is so perfect. Oh, I'm going to tell you, the Lord's timing is one that he don't miss, right? We want everything now. But I always tell people, you want $1 million. If the Lord gave you that $1 million, what you going to do with that? It would have been gone. You have no stewardship. You don't know how to do nothing with good. Like, come on, let's be real. You won't give that money to nothing good. Nothing. All right, let me get back on topic. So the Lord sends Gideon and his servant down to the camp of his opposing army, right? And look at the beautiful thing that happens during this time. It says in verse 13, when Gideon arrived, there was a man telling a dream to his friend, and he said, listen carefully. I had a dream. There was a loaf of barley bread tumbling into the camp of Midian, and it came to the tent and struck it so that it fell, and turned it upside down so that the tent laid flat. And his friend replied, this dream is nothing less than the sword of Gideon, the son of Joash, a man of Israel. God has given Midian and the entire camp into his hand. When Gideon heard the account of the dream and its interpretation, he bowed down in worship. Then he returned to the camp of Israel and said, "Arise, for the Lord has given the camp of Midian into our hand." Y'all don't get it. Y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand. The Lord said, I know you're still scared. I know you have doubts. Let me go and show you who I am, you know? And not only did he show him the dream of the man saying it, he also gave him an interpretation. So it's clear. It's clear. Like, in no, whatever doubt you have, it's clear. The opposing army is saying this about Gideon. Can you imagine? Like, you go in to take an exam, and you scared, your knees is trembling, and you go to the person who is proctoring the exam, and they're saying, you know what? I had a dream. I had a dream that Lynn came in here, she sat for the exam, and I got her results right away, and it said pass. Are you scared after that? No, you jumping. You jumping for joy. You like, yes, Lord. Yes, the Lord has done it. Like, you have to know that our God stands true every single time. Every single time. That he will never leave you nor forsake you. Like, he's a good father. He's a good father. And he knows when we need that little encouragement, that's when he will start to send people our way. And he will start to be like, okay, no, Lynn, go and talk to this person. No, you go talk to this person. No, like, he will align our path, you understand, to see certain things. And I want to encourage you, when you're on your last leg, I was doing note writing day this last holiday that we had, President's Day. And I saw a patient, and I spent more time with this patient than I do usually with patient standard. But I felt like the Lord was telling me, okay, speak with her. You know, and I spoke with her, and I was just telling her about Jesus. Because now I be telling everybody about Jesus. I don't care who you are. You're going to learn about the good news, okay? So I was telling her about Jesus, and she was just like, you know what? I needed that. Like, she even showed me like the mini Bible that she had. And I was just really talking about her, speaking faith into her. And then when we came back on Wednesday, I believe, I had my lunch packed and everything. And out of a sudden, I was having a feeling for Thai food. I'm like, but I had my lunch packed. But the feeling was so strong. So I'm like, okay, let me put on my coat and go downstairs, right? And as I was going downstairs, the elevator was stopping, the doors open, and it was that patient I ministered to getting in the elevator, leaving the hospital. And I'm like, Lord, like, you are so intentional. You are so good. Because the same thing I was telling her, to have faith, know that the Lord will take care of you. Know that, you know, you're not going to be in the hospital forever. That the Lord was able to show me, you know, the things that I was saying over her life. And I was like, this Lord that I serve, he a good God. You know, he is a good and faithful father. So I'm just like, know that whatever we go through, whatever we see in this life, that the Lord has us, that the Lord will never leave us. And he is so faithful, and he knows when you're struggling. And that is okay. Bring that to him. You know, the more you bring it to him, the more you will get stronger to know and rely on him, because his track record is clean and clear, unlike some of us, you know, but his track record is true. And I love that I know a father who's like that, you know, who only wants the best for us and who will take us through a route that we may not want to go on, but it's for to give glory to his name. So I thank him for that. And I thank you guys for tuning in today for this week of Lynn with God. If you enjoyed this video, definitely give it a like. And if you want to join the family, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you next week. Take care of yourselves.